over there. Take a look at the footage from inside the arena. Official tallies confirm more than 3,200 empty seats. Viewers are pointing out this officially marks the lowest attended game of the entire Caitlin Clark era. You can spot huge clusters of vacant red seats scattered throughout the building. And the supporters who actually showed up are absolutely livid. Things sucks. I flew in.
Here is another person that was at the game. Look at that. Look at all them. Look at all those empty seats. I mean, oh, good God. All these empty seats. Look at these. There's empty seats everywhere. In this day, over there, over there, over there.
We were fed for months. Take a look at the social media meltdown. One viewer revealed they literally flew in from Montana for this exact game, only to get completely blindsided by a last-second scratch. Supporters are convinced the front office deliberately concealed the injury status to squeeze out parking and concession revenue. Verified data shows resale tickets cratered to 8.35 mums, and they still could not move them. Front offices despise uncertainty. When supporters feel that buying a ticket no longer guarantees seeing the star they paid for, the momentum of ticket sales completely collapses. But the outrage truly hits a boiling point once you actually hear the justification offered by the head coach. Viewers are convinced Stephanie White is now trapped inside a glaring, undeniable contradiction of her own words.
From Montana for tonight's and Friday's game. Wow. My wife and some of her friends went down to the game. They are pissed. This right here is why I haven't bought tickets this year. Front office can't be trusted. Remember the quote, game time decision and day-to-day BS.
Do you know if there's any concern beyond today? No, there's not. Listen carefully to this press conference. Right after the season opener, White stated this back injury was an ongoing thing. Yet hours ahead of the Portland matchup, White informs the media, quote, "She is healthy and we are not managing anything." Those two statements cannot both stand. Either the back demands ongoing management, or it does not. Either 37 minutes in an overtime defeat counts as a safe workload, or it represents a serious medical hazard. White also tossed in that she is not a doctor, but supporters consider that a cheap dodge. You do not require a medical degree to grasp that running a player with a documented back issue for 37 minutes is going to leave her with severe stiffness only days afterward. It is straightforward cause and effect.
Stephanie White on this supposed injury.
Steph, when did you guys find out that Caitlin would not be able to play today?
About 5 o'clock.
Did she say that there was pain? How did that all kind of come to pass?
Just woke up with some stiffness and some soreness, and you know, we like to see, again, like I always say, like, how do you respond after a workout? Is it you know, for us, it's not the time to take a chance. We just really want to be cautious.
Breaking news pouring out of Indianapolis right now. And many viewers are convinced this just exposed the most alarming storyline of the entire 2026 WNBA season. Mere hours before tip-off against the Portland Fire, the Indiana Fever dropped a statement confirming that Caitlin Clark is officially sidelined with a back injury. This is the very same back that forced her into the locker room twice on opening night. The same back she openly admitted gets out of line pretty quickly. And the same back that supporters argue has been horribly mismanaged by a coaching staff refusing to safeguard its generational superstar. Welcome back to WNBA Pro, where we dissect the actual timeline, monitor every minute played, and reveal the enormous structural failures the mainstream media keeps brushing aside. Today we are blending the hard numbers with a brutal reality, because the supporters who purchased tickets to watch Caitlin Clark were just told they had been kept completely in the dark. And many analysts are now arguing that the 3,200 empty seats already screaming at Gainbridge Fieldhouse have suddenly become the smallest issue facing the Indiana Fever. Let us walk you through the entire timeline, because viewers insist the sequence of events tells you everything you need to know about how badly this scenario has been botched. It all began on May 9th during opening night versus the Dallas Wings. Clark makes two distinct trips to the locker room in the second half for back adjustments. She comes back, logs 30 minutes, and finishes with 20 points. Following the game, head coach Stephanie White informs reporters that this back issue is going to be an ongoing thing. Skip ahead to May 14th against the Los Angeles Sparks. Clark logs 31 minutes in a fairly clean outing from a health perspective. Then arrives May 15th against the Washington Mystics. Clark grinds out a punishing 37 minutes. She pours in 32 points and shoulders the entire offense. Yet the Fever fall in overtime. Supporters instantly clocked that she had been thrown right back into the brutal, draining workload the medical staff was allegedly trying to dodge. Then comes May 17th versus the Seattle Storm, and they finally dial it back. She sees only 23 minutes. The team picks up the win, and the back management appears to be functioning. But the toll from that 37-minute overtime marathon had already been paid. By Wednesday morning, the day of the Portland Fire matchup, Clark wakes up with severe back stiffness.
Not going to do anything because they're all up in it. Jason Whitlock, after injuring and destroying their Golden Goose in year 1 and 2, the WNBA changed the way games are officiated under the pretense of, quote, freedom of motion. They changed the rules after damaging their meal ticket. Clown show. Fire everyone. I said, can you imagine if this was the Cowboys, Eagles, Yankees? National and local media would be asking a lot of uncomfortable.
She sits out of practice. And then, in what many supporters consider a stunning betrayal of public trust, the organization holds off until just 1 hour and 20 minutes before tip-off to finally reveal she will not suit up. It's hilarious. Questions. Let us lay out the precise math problem that the coaching staff appears incapable of solving. Across 5 games, the pattern jumps off the page. Caitlin Clark can safely handle 25 to 30 minutes inside an in-game maintenance plan. Yet she simply cannot withstand 37 minutes without massive physical fallout. The strict ceiling for her body at the moment sits near 30 minutes. Still, the Indiana Fever keeps shoving her past that ceiling because their bench unit is severely flawed. This is not thoughtful load management. Supporters believe this is a vicious cycle fueled by desperation. The coaching staff dumps heavy minutes on her in tight games because they have no faith in the reserves. Her back locks up. She is forced to skip a game to recover. Then she returns and they immediately run her into the dirt all over again. Viewers contend that the genuine preventive measure is not resting her after the damage has occurred. The genuine preventive measure is capping her minutes so the damage never lands in the first place. Yet players like Walker Kimbrough have logged exactly 3 minutes of floor time across 5 games. The coaching staff flat out refuses to construct a sustainable rotation. And that brings us to the most controversial element of this whole saga. The matchup against Portland. Without Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever ran a sluggish, plodding, dull half-court brand of basketball. And they pulled off the win. They knocked off the expansion Portland Fire 90-73. Aaliyah Boston dominated with 24 points. Lexi Hall had a flawless shooting performance with 16 points. And Tiasha Harris, who got the start in Clark's place, logged 29 minutes and put up exactly 0 points. On the stat sheet, it is a 17-point victory. But many viewers are convinced the coaching staff and front office were actually craving this exact result. Supporters believe the old-school management circle wanted a blowout victory without their superstar, so they could quietly prove to the media that her presence is not required for success. They are determined to show that their traditional, slow-tempo system works. Yet supporters counter that crushing the weakest expansion team in the WNBA on a random Wednesday night proves nothing whatsoever. All it demonstrates is that you can beat up on a bad team while simultaneously alienating the very supporters who bankroll your franchise. You cannot run Caitlin Clark for 37 minutes, scratch her 60 minutes before tip-off, leave 3,000 seats vacant, and expect the supporters to just grin and snap up more merchandise. The medical truth does not bow to the front office's agenda. The back tells you what the back tells you. And at this moment, it is screaming that the Indiana Fever organization is failing. What is your take on this enormous breakdown? How many games do you predict Caitlin Clark will miss this year if the coaching staff keeps pushing her beyond 35 minutes? And do you believe the front office intentionally stalled the injury announcement to pump up ticket sales? Drop your wildest, most unfiltered predictions in the comments down below. We genuinely read every single one. If you want the full medical timeline, the cold hard numbers, and the raw truth that mainstream sports media is too scared to put on air, slam that subscribe button right now. Annihilate the notification bell so no update ever slips past you. Every minute counts, and the resistance will not stand down. This is WNBA Pro. We will catch you in the next video.